This week, there is a lot of trends that need to be avoided because they will get Amazon merch accounts closed. To some of you, these might be obvious, Charlie right here, but people that haven't been following the news cycle or that don't speak English might not understand why some of these shirts are trending. So right now, avoid anything that says Charlie in the design. Also, Kirk, anything that says Kirk. This is related to Charlie Kirk's assassination last week. I'm not going to go into it, but basically any designs like this bound to get removed and get accounts banned. Also, anything that says freedom, do not upload it. I know the word freedom might not be trademarked, but that doesn't matter in this case. If you don't understand why, look at the news. I don't want to kind of go into it, just avoid it, right? It's not safe. Also, turning point is related to the same thing. Do not upload anything that says turning point or this is the turning point. It doesn't matter. These are related and they will get accounts banned. Another niche that you might have noticed trending that needs to be avoided is Crawford. This typically has boxing gloves right here in the design because it's related to a boxer called Terence Crawford, I believe. So avoid these designs. Even if they're doing well, they're not safe. And another trendy niche that you shouldn't sell is Boon. So tons of designs that say Boon. These are all, or most of them are kind of music themed, which is a giveaway. There's a musician, an artist called Benson Boone, who is currently touring. So this is the same effect that Taylor Swift, for example, had last year when she had that massive tour and like all of the bestsellers were just Taylor, Taylor, Taylor. It's not cool. The name, the word might not be trademarked, but you're literally benefiting off of an artist having a big tour, big marketing campaign. And these designs, whilst they might be live now, they probably won't be live for very long. And these are also big infringements on someone's intellectual property, so they're more likely going to get accounts closed. Getting into the niches which you're allowed to sell, the biggest trend on Amazon right now, and this is by far the biggest in terms of BSRs, is F-core-F. And I'm not going to pronounce it the way it's meant to be pronounced or intended to be pronounced, but if you read it as one word and you read it quickly, you'll quickly figure out why these are selling or what the joke is here. It's similar to the sound that a crow makes or a rooster makes, but it also sounds like something else, an expression.
What do you mean by that?
The way these are selling is mind-blowing. If we look at the bestsellers, 1,800 BSR, 3,200, 4,000, 5,000, 8,000. There are so many of these shirts getting thousands of sales a month. If we open up the bestseller, actually, let's do this, open on Amazon. This now has a 4K plus bought badge. That is huge. And this is not a very old listing. Generally, if you look at the listing ages right here, they're all pretty young. We've got 8 days right here with a 30K BSR. That's insane. Like 30K, that's hundreds and hundreds of sales a month, maybe even like 1,000 sales a month. This one, 83 days old. We've got 65 right here at the top. Many of these are young. There's a lot of new badges still popping up. Seems like the Rooster versions have quite a few of the new badges. You will notice that a lot of them have this similar kind of style to the best sellers, which I personally wouldn't do. I would try and stand out a bit more. Like this American flag definitely stands out, probably help this person get sales. You could try a different style. You could maybe try and aim it more at women. You could maybe try and expand upon the phrase. Try and stand out in this niche because the demand is massive. It's absolutely huge. The top sellers are all getting multiple thousands of sales a month. Let's open up the next one here. Yep, this one says 2K plus bought in the past month at $19.90. So huge demand for this niche, but try and be a bit creative to stand out and not just, be buried on page 20 looking exactly like the best sellers. If we look at this niche on Etsy with Profitry, I've typed in F-car-F shirt right here and we can see a mixture. I've not filtered it this time because you can see there's a mixture of physical and digital products selling. Some of the digital ones doing quite well with 277 sales right here for PNG files. So if any of you have a digital shop, you might want to offer some of these. But there's also POD products, as you can see. This one says 13 sold in the past 24 hours. We've got 16 sold in the past 24 hours. So there's a lot of these badges in 20 plus cards. There is definitely a ton of demand and the monthly revenue is in the thousands right here for many people too. It doesn't seem as huge or doing as well on Etsy as it is on Amazon. I'm not sure why, but there is definitely demand as well, and Profitry shows that quite nicely with all of these demand badges. So yeah, I'll check this out. Doing well on both Etsy and Amazon, but definitely a lot better on Amazon it seems right now, because the top one right here in terms of POD says around 200 sales a month, which is obviously a fraction of 4,000 a month, which that Amazon bestseller had. But anyway, still a good niche, still a fresh trend that's not too old. You can see the listing age on the right here. Most of these say 2 months, 1 month old, 1 month, 2 month, 2 months. Yeah, so fairly fresh trend, and it seems to be one that definitely has evergreen potential. This is the kind of design that could sell throughout the entire year. It's funny, it's a bit of adult humor, it has animals in it, so I don't see this as a trend that will just, fizzle out after a couple of weeks and then completely disappear. I think this is something that'll be around for a while and create a lot of strong evergreen sellers. Trending niche number 2 is 67 or 67. This is trending really well right now on Amazon. It is some sort of TikTok trend, I think, or kids thing, something they find funny. I did some research, tried to understand it. I didn't really understand it, but it seems to be safe from what I see. Also, notice there's different ways people are approaching this. It's not just the number with this kind of drip ice cream effect. Some people spell it out 6, 7, because I think that's what kids are actually saying that they find funny is 6, 7. I think it has to do with height. Anyway, let's get 6 Sendy, not sure what that is, but these are really new listings. If you look at it, published 11 days ago, published 10 days ago, 12 days ago, and they all have a 100k BSR. That's really good for such a new listing. Some of these are mixed with baseball drip graphics right here, the baseball bats, and yeah, then we've got this Aura Energy, which is also the top seller actually with an 80k BSR. There's a phrase right here with Rizzler and Sigma, so kind of mixing different elements together that kids seem to like. Seems to work right here for this trend. It seems like most of the shirts are black, right? Most of the designs are in black. Maybe uploading to white will help you stand out on this. This definitely stands out to me as well, this kind of rainbow colored number. Amongst the rest, that kind of stands out. But yeah, try and be creative with this. It's a kids trend, kids niche, and those can be really good. Whilst I don't 100% understand this, it's definitely doing well on Amazon right now. Most of these listings less than a month old. How does it look on Etsy? So we've typed in 6-7 shirt into Profitry, and there is not that many sales, to be honest, right here. I don't know if it's because Profitry doesn't have a lot of this niche indexed yet, or maybe it's just not as popular on Etsy. But yeah, the top ranking one right here says 21 monthly sales estimated, and it's also not got the right name. Gigi, little love bug. I think that's not even related. Next one, 67 Mason, 21 monthly sales, 67 SVG, 14 sales. So yeah, doesn't seem to be as hot on Etsy, perhaps as it is on Amazon. But as you can see, there is a few listings indexed that are getting sales. Next up, we've got in October, we wear pink. So breast cancer awareness, in case you didn't know, is a very popular niche for print on demand in October and typically starts selling during September, as you can see by these listings here. If we look at the average BSR, for example, which is this number right here, these are all around 150k, 200k, 200k, and then compare that to the current BSRs, those are all lower than the average. So that shows you that this is a niche that is trending down in BSR and trending up in sales. This top seller is actually a new listing from just 6 days ago, which is very surprising considering this is a very competitive niche. Also $24.99. Let's check if that's true. All right, it's priced at $19.99 now. That is really surprising. Not sure how this person's gained the top spot so quickly. There must definitely be a lot of ad spend behind that, but it does show that some of these more established competitive niches can be broken into still. If we scroll down, there is some other new badges too. In October, we were pink. This is a good idea. I've seen this kind of witch style design a few times now in other niches or with other phrases this year, so I'm not surprised that it also works in this niche. Always a good approach, taking what's been working throughout the year and kind of new design templates, new design styles, and applying them to something that has proven to work over the years, or very competitive big niches, high demand niches like this. So yeah, as you can see, tons of good BSRs. Most of them are dropping in BSR right now. Ton of demand, different ways to approach this. You can upload to pink shirts. We've got some new hot pink colors as well. We had those added this year, so that might be another way to stand out. So most of these just have the original, like the old pink, the very light version. Whereas the designs, if you look at them, they typically have a very, very strong hot pink color. So maybe upload to some of those new t-shirt colors only to stand out in search and give people the opportunity to actually wear pink, not just wear black with a pink design. That's something I would do if I was going to enter this. In October, we were pink, extremely popular phrase within the overarching niche of breast cancer awareness. And on Etsy, it's looking no different. There is already a lot of monthly sales happening in this niche. This time, again, I purposely didn't filter out digital products. Let me know in the comments if you want me to just show the digital trends as well, like alongside the print-on-demand products, because in this case, digital are actually selling more units, not necessarily more revenue. If you look at the revenue numbers, this design, is this POD? $4.50. Let's view this. Yeah, so this is an actual print-on-demand design. You're probably not going to get it at that cheap price now. Like if you wanted a sweatshirt, it's going to be more expensive. The baby suit is the very cheap one. But as you can see, this is being purchased. 6 people bought it in the last 24 hours. It's got the bestseller badge. And going back to my original point, it has more revenue right here, but it has less monthly sales, which is kind of the first indicator that this is a print-on-demand product. But yeah, hundreds of sales for digital products. It might be worth adding some stuff there or some bundles. And yeah, tons of these have the badges right here. 13 sold in the past 24 hours. You can see a lot of pink sweatshirts, pink t-shirts, and yeah, this is a niche that's doing well on both Etsy and Amazon. And if you're looking for sub niches for Halloween, here is a good one that seems to be new for 2025 and doing pretty well. It's Falloween, or the full phrase being, are you following directions? Are you following directions? Putting fall in there and also putting Halloween in there as sort of a little word joke. As you can see in Flying Research, you can very clearly see these new badges. Those are for listings that are less than 30 days old. So published 25 days ago and published 12 days ago. Very, very young listings selling well with a 100K, 200K, 300K BSR. So this is definitely a hot sub niche that you could potentially get sales in more easily if you just uploaded, the same old Halloween stuff that sells every single year, or if you just copied bestsellers, right? These kind of sub niches are easy to get sales in because there'll be low competition, but they still have demand. So following directions, doing well on Amazon. By the way, there's also following Jesus, so you can adapt the phrase and it doesn't have to end with directions. On Etsy, and it's looking similar right here. We're getting around 73 sales a month. Those are PNGs again, so digital downloads, and then some of the POD shirts around 30 sales. Going to drop still a lot, not drop here on Etsy. There's no BSR, so I always say drop for BSR on Amazon, but they're going to increase in demand. That's what I'm trying to say, because we're still in September, and October obviously is when at the end of the month Halloween sales peak. So you're going to see a lot more sales with following, not just on Etsy but also on Amazon. It's a good indicator that we already have some of these, like 3 sold to 24-hour badges, 5 sold 24-hour badges. It shows that there is demand right now, and it's only going to get better over the next month and a half. Moving on to trend number 5, we've got Holy Ghost. Once again, trying to find you a sub-niche to target for Halloween, rather than just saying, oh, Halloween's trending. So Holy Ghost, noticed a few designs pop up right here recently that are doing well. Let's say something along the lines of, ain't no ghost like the Holy Ghost. You can see this one, the only ghost I know is the Holy Ghost, also selling. And if you scroll down, there is a bunch of different versions. I quite like this one right here with that kind of patch style. Another thing that's kind of become popular in 2025. Another new badge right here. So it's not the newest trend, like this has already been around, but the phrase I feel like has been adapted a little bit, or the phrase that seems to be doing well with new listings right now is ain't no ghost like the Holy Ghost. Looking at Etsy, just type in Holy Ghost, nothing appended like shirt, etc. We've got a mixture. Not all of these are Halloween themed. Like here we've got a Holy Ghost blanket. This is not Halloween, I believe. Yeah, this is for the Christianity niche. So going back to this, you can see that same design selling 85 times a month estimated right now. There's another Halloween themed sweatshirt, around 28 sales a month. Here's another t-shirt, 17 views in the last 24 hours, showing that there is people looking exactly for this. Let's open it up, and this now says in 15 baskets, which doesn't match that badge directly on Profitry. And I've tested this with the Merch Mastermind. We all opened up the same listing at the same time, and it said different things for different people. So depending on your IP address, or I don't know how exactly it works, but not everyone sees the same text. So what it says in Profit Tree might not 100% match what you see, but it is still an indicator for demand nonetheless. So yeah, Ain't No Ghost, like the Holy Ghost, really nice design, clean and simple, has a fun looking font, and it's easy process. It's a little bit harder to read this font, the way it's arched around. That could maybe be slightly improved, but still like it. A good looking listing right here. Let's look at the favorites as well. This has 55 favorites, so not too many. This is probably a newer listing as well. So yeah, on Etsy, it doesn't seem to be too much competition, but there's definitely demand and people looking for these kind of shirts and some PNG files as well. Let's look at the archive feature and see what's going to be doing well in 3 months from now. So in case you've not seen this yet, what I typically do here is I use Flying Research to go into the archive of what we're selling 3 months from now, but in the last year. That way we can use the history to figure out what we should be selling ourselves. So we're looking at the 18th of December 2024 right here, and this is just the back end of Christmas shopping. This is usually like the last few days that you see sales, and then things start to drop off as the delivery dates are past Christmas. So this is a good indicator of peak Q4 sales. And at first glance, I see only evergreen stuff. No Christmas themed designs, showing you that at the top end, evergreen niches dominate. So you see the historic rank at the top right here, 9,000, 11,000, and you see the current BSR right here down below. So historic rank at the top. Evergreen stuff, a bunch of these poster style designs, Japanese style with a cat eating ramen, and we've got some simple text-based stuff. They're awesome, like my daughter, so gifts for dads essentially. And we've got funny stuff like this rock, paper, scissors, funny t-shirts, always do well. And then the first Christmas themed one is here, and we've got human by chance, alpha by choice. So this is probably more of a kids themed one with the kind of Gen Z language there. Van Gogh style design. We've got the selfie style. So as you can see, the top results are being dominated by evergreen. There's not really like a trending niche necessarily, or trending holiday that stands out. I mean, this kind of Japanese style definitely was really, really strong last year. We've got this cat samurai theme. Axolotls was doing well. And then now we have some more Christmas themed designs showing up, which I think proves a point that I've tried to make before, that it doesn't necessarily pay off focusing all the energy just on Christmas. Evergreen designs do extremely well, and they also hold their BSR more after Christmas. Here's another dad design. We've got raccoons, risen with the tism, again, kind of kids, youth language. We've got a bra, which that's been around for a while now. Bra, I don't know if that's still the most current term to use if you want to sell kids shirts. It's kind of probably outdated or getting outdated now. It still has an 82 KBSR, so it's not irrelevant. I just think there's newer things, some of which we discussed in this Trending Niches episode, that are a little bit more current. We've got this gaming capybara design, we've got fishing right here, another ramen one. So I mean, ramen Japanese style designs are so strong. We've got cats, the coffee, we've got faith right here, math, another alpha by choice design. So yeah, I hope this gives you a bit of an idea. Definitely the trend in 3 months is going to be very, very heavily evergreen, funny designs, different hobbies, different animals, and Japanese themed stuff, if that holds true to this year as well. Those kind of poster style designs sell really well. But yeah, that's about it. Looking forward 3 months, I think it's quite clear what's going to happen. And I was using the archive feature, which is really handy to identify what's upcoming in terms of seasonal events, or, you know, in this case, evergreen niches that are going to be doing well. If you want to have an easier time getting sales in these trends and niches that I recommend, one way is to use the right style. And one very popular style right now are bootleg shirts. So just check out this video next if you want to learn how to create bootleg shirts very easily to get more sales in the niches you enter.